Hey everybody, this is Paul and Ian from McSoss, and today we're going to talk a little Walking Dead Season 7 review. Ian, you spent the last 2 days burning through 16 episodes of The Walking Dead. How do you feel? Are you gored out? Are you like all these pussies out there that think there's too much killing and too much violence?
I'm ready to go out there and just kill some walkers. I have the Walking Dead theme song just on a loop in my head right now. Yeah. Everywhere, every door frame that I look at, I see like clawing hands coming at me. Can't look at baseball bats anymore or irons.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right, because you watched the entire season in a couple days. That's been a while ago for me, but I think the hot iron on the guy's face, they did a pretty nice job.
It's brutal. Grilled cheese faces.
Mm-hmm.
It's really intense. Yeah, I started watching the season one. I watched the season one first episode whenever it came out because, like everybody, I was locked into who it was going to be. Even though I've read the comic books, I knew kind of who it was going to be.
Right.
But I wanted to see it all go down, and I don't know if it was just at that point in time or what was going on, but after that episode, it just seemed gratuitous, and I was
The
burned.
violence seemed gratuitous?
It was the violence and just the overall just misery, and our heroes are so beaten down, and they kind of spent some of the end of the last season getting beaten down pretty hardcore. Yeah. And then going into this, I don't know if I could have stayed with it this whole season if I didn't.
If I wasn't like, we're doing this today.
If I didn't watch it all in one big chunk, if I had to go along like a regular viewer and watch it week to week and be dragged down into misery.
So, like, you think the down like misery, just the negativity would just keep with you through week to week.
I feel like they
and every Sunday night you'd be like, oh yeah, here we go again.
I feel like they unnecessarily ramped it up this season, and it was okay for me because in a couple episodes, in a couple hours, I was back, and we were back on track, and Rick and Michonne were winning, and it was good, and we all could feel good. But for you, a regular viewer, you had to deal with that for 3-4 weeks, months at a time, where the team was just beaten to shit.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like a sociopath watching The Walking Dead compared to a lot of internet shit that I see, because people are like, there's too much violence and it was gratuitous in the premiere with beating 2 people to death, smashing their heads with a baseball bat, and the gratuitous violence and the negativity week to week, and like it seemed like a slog for people this season, not just because of the violence, but because your fucking heroes are beat down every week. Not every week, because some weeks are just boring ass throwaway episodes, like the episode where pregnant girl with the big boobs goes to Oceanside. What's her name?
Oh, is she pregnant? But I know who you're talking about.
She was during the filming.
Okay, yeah.
Alana Masterson is the actress's name.
I forget her name, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah. Like, do you feel like? See, I not to interrupt you, but I see that that's a big criticism about this season and other seasons of The Walking Dead, and I really like that stuff. Like, I like the slow, maybe like character building. I would think you would like that too.
I like it too, but I like it when. I guess I don't care about that character. Like, I like it when it's happening with characters I care about. But, like, I love Morgan, but Morgan even had a couple slow episodes. And fuck you, Carol. If you're gonna be a fucking pussy and you're gonna hide in a house, just fucking, can we just kill Carol? Like, don't be a badass and then hate yourself for being a badass. Just fucking own it. Own it. Daryl owns it. Rick owns it. Michonne owns it.
But you have to see a spectrum of people dealing with that.
I get it, but like we're dealing. Maybe it was too much because we're dealing with like Carol, who has the potential to be a game changer,
right? And
I'm gonna hide out in the house. And you also have that with Morgan,
right?
Who's fucking Diesel, but he's also like, oh, I can't kill. And I'm like, this is not the time of the apocalypse to be a big fucking softie. Go fight. Like, we already talked about this. Like, in Walking Dead world, in Game of Thrones world, we are the fat kid that bakes bread. That's our only redeemable skill. Telling jokes, making people want to murder us. I mean, like, but like those who can't teach.
Right, right. Yeah, I always think about if the apocalypse comes and I'm like, oh man, I can draw. I read a lot of comic books. I have a whole bank of knowledge about the Marvel Universe. And this guy right here, you got to keep him because he has the other comic books. So you got to save these guys, right? And, just everybody, Daryl can hunt and he's a badass and Rick can govern. And everybody else, has these they're all they have these skills that transfer, and I always think, man, I guess I would just be dead instantly. Like there's nothing I do that's gonna keep me alive in the apocalypse. Nothing.
I feel like I'd be one of those guys in the background of Alexandria that's just like in the church while Rick's talking. I'm just like nameless rabble in the crowd. And like when Rick's giving
I think we should kill him.
When Rick's giving those speeches, he's like, we're going to go out and we're going to fight and we're going to win. And I'd be in the back like, oh man, do we have to? Let's just give Negan what he wants.
Yeah, I mean, I know for sure.
Because I'm not even badass to be a good savior.
Yeah.
I'd be one of those people in a gray hoodie baking bread.
Yeah.
I don't know how to bake bread.
I'd be sorting like radishes. Like that's all I'm good for. Radish sorter. But yeah, I think that I get your point with Morgan and Carol kind of pushing away there. But that's like some wise samurai shit. That's like a tried and true sort of storytelling thing. I can't hate it.
I get it with Morgan.
Yeah.
Because Morgan kind of like he went on a different like spiritual journey, like a different emotional journey.
Yeah.
Where like he sought out, well, he didn't seek it out, but like I mean he chose to learn from Drew Carey's older brother from the Drew Carey show.
I don't remember.
That's a good sitcom reference for all y'all. Like
Lou Carey.
He learned those skills. Like he accepted that, but Carol's just dealing with the guilt.
Right.
And I guess guilt's something I don't understand. So I have a hard time like being like, Carol, you're great at killing people. Just go kill people. But Morgan I understand more.
Yeah.
But I want Morgan to be out there. And this goes back to tons of conversations we've had about my favorite superheroes where like I want them to be proactive.
Yeah.
Like I want them to go be heroes. You recognize you have the ability, the power. Go do it. Go be a positive influence. Go take care of the business that needs taken care of. Like, don't be like, oh, I fucking hate my superpowers. Ugh.
See, and I come from the school of I understand that's a very human thing to feel, and those are real emotions, and I can get connected to somebody trying to just shun themselves away from like that really grisly and awful side of themselves, trying to like be better. That's what Carol and Morgan are trying to do, is trying to avoid violence and be better and be better people. And I know it's at the cost of maybe saving some lives, but to them, they feel like that's what this world needs. So
they can do that after they take care of the saviors. Now is not the time to go off and be by yourself and not kill people.
But strictly for story purposes, it's fun whenever Carol and Morgan come back like the cavalry. Like, that's why you do that shit. So then in the 16th episode, long weekend, you can see them come in. You're like, fuck yeah! I'm super happy that everybody's back together.
And that's the big payoff of the finale, because Rick, all of our heroes have been subjugated for like the last half of season 6. The majority of season 7, like a lot of the back half of season 7 is spent showing how like Rick's getting his shit together.
Yeah.
The promo card was Rise Up, and that's what they're doing, and you're like, fuck yeah, Rick's back. They're getting their shit together. They're gonna mount the attack on Negan. They got a plan together. This is gonna be great. And I guess that's how all of that pays off in like leading up to the season finale. Like I like this was the second half of the season was probably the closest Rick has been to Rick in the comics.
Yeah.
And I've had a big problem with Rick this entire series. 6 seasons I've had of who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
Because like Robert Kirkman defined Rick Grimes. Sorry about that jump in video, a little bit of technical difficulties here. But as I was saying, Robert Kirkman has written Rick Grimes from the beginning of the books through, I think, like 29 volumes, and he's been Rick Grimes the whole time. The show, I feel, has had a real hard time trying to nail down who he is. Like, he's been the dominating, like, take no prisoners leader. He's been a fucking psychopath. He's been a soft ass pussy.
In fairness, the psychopath part, that pulls from the comics. Whenever him and Carl first are separated from the prison, it's right after Lori gets killed. Lori, right? That's the one. Yeah.
Lori.
It's been a long time. And he has the telephone, right?
Right.
I mean, he's a little psychotic there. I think maybe Andrew Lincoln's portrayal of that psychosis really amps up how crazy Rick Grimes was. But I think that that's true to form.
Yeah, like all that stuff happened in the comics, but it never felt like it was a different character in the comics. Like, it was always stated enough that Rick's going through something.
Yeah.
But like, his character's just been so up and down through the TV show, and now I feel like this is Rick.
Yeah.
Like, we finally gotten to who Rick is, and maybe like the writers and the showrunner, they finally get, this is where we need Andrew Lincoln to go.
Yeah.
From here, and maybe that has a lot to do with him having one antagonist that they can really pair off against each other.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like this season, like I've loved Rick. I've loved seeing the lighter side of him with Michonne.
Mm-hmm.
I loved seeing him be defiant. At like the end of all things with Negan in this episode, when Negan's like, "I'm gonna kill Carl and then break your hands." Sorry.
Yeah, and in the end of last season, even the beginning of this season, there were some sniveling kind of, begging and pleading, stuff that you don't really associate with Rick Grimes.
Right.
So it was nice to see him kind of, put his feet down in the ground and make that stand against Negan. And I think it's probably a good sign for the way that this character is going to go. Us as comic book readers knowing how far everything goes, and I think that Rick kind of settles into this mode anyway of being, the leader's leader of these colonies.
Yeah.
So it's good that they finally found his voice at this sort of like crucial time in the show.
I've been having a hard time all season being invested in characters that I don't care about.
Well, that's you in general, right?
Right. Like, I really like the season finale. I would have liked it more if we took out all of the Sasha retrospective. Like, all of the...
Yeah, you didn't like that?
Me and Abraham and me and Maggie watching the sunset. And, like, all this other bullshit. Get it out. And I was kind of pissed at the way they killed her. Because I wanted them to do it like they do it in the books. Yeah. And I watched Talking Dead too, and it irritates me that they don't reference the comics in the Talking Dead. Chris Hardwick hosts the Talking Dead. He's read all the books. A lot of the actors have read the books. Yeah. And I'm sure it's partly not wanting to spoil the books and also not wanting to tip the show's hand to what's happening, but there's every so often there's a subtle acknowledgement where someone will be like, "Well, you know what happens in the books," but it's always offhand, and it's hush hush, and it's pushing under the rug. Mm-hmm. But in the books, Daryl or Abraham's girlfriend gets captured by the Saviors, and Negan and the Saviors turn her on purpose, and Negan and Rick are gonna have like a hostage exchange. I think her name was Gail.
I think
Gloria.
So. Yeah.
Gloria.
Gail. Yeah.
One of those G names. So they're doing the hostage exchange. The woman has a bag over her head, and they push her toward Rick. Rick takes the hood off to make sure she's okay, and she's a zombie. Yeah. Like, Negan took this hostage, blatantly turned her into a zombie, sent her into Rick's camp to wreak havoc. Yeah. And, like, I think that speaks way more toward who Negan is. And, like, I like that. I like that in the comics, Negan is unrelenting. And, like, Robert Kirkman's done a great job to have him do these horrible things, but he's still really likable.
Yeah,
he's still entertaining. He's still a fun character to read.
Do you think that maybe they still have to dance around? Like in the comic books, I think you have more leeway to do horrible things, but on a show, I think you might have to dance around a little bit because you can lose that likability. They've struck gold with getting Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who plays devious likability to a T. So I don't think that. I think they still want some of the audience to kind of like Negan. Today I was on the internet and I was running down the top 15 most hilarious things that Negan has said, and I'm like, well, yeah, that stuff's funny, but he's killing people while he's saying that stuff. So I think they still want him to kind of be sort of like a likable character too. So maybe doing something that is diabolical might be out of bounds. I don't know. I'm just speculating.
It's something I feel like the movie makers feel like the movie audience. Same with the TV makers. They feel the TV audience isn't sophisticated enough to pick up on stuff that comic book readers are, because movies and TV tend to do specific things that are geared toward making the audience happy, and I get that. But the whole Sasha bit and her whole arc in this final episode felt like fan service. It was like, we brutally killed Glenn and Abraham at the beginning of the season without any warning. We need to give her the hero's death. We need to give her an honorable death. But no, I don't think you need to do that. I think you just fucking kill her. You do it like Negan wanted to. You just make her a zombie, send her in their bag over her head, and that's fine because you've already established this world is so fucking brutal. Just do it like it should be done.
I think it was also sort of like a tribute to her dad. Tyrese, his last episode was all her brother. His last episode was all the same kind of thing.
It was so. That may be worse than any episode in season 2. And season 2 was absolutely horrible. It was so boring.
Yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed the way that they did this episode. I kind of don't like some of the criticism of, well, they jumped around at times and people didn't understand why.
Those people are dummies.
Yeah, I was like, I got it. I understood what was going on. Except for, I can say that I'm a dummy because I was like, when they open the coffin, she's just going to roll out dead. Oh, yeah, this is a zombie apocalypse thing. She's a fucking zombie.
Yeah, overall, I think it was a great finale. I like the twist with the scavengers. The way the way the cavalry showed up. Overall, I really liked it. This whole season, I liked it. A couple down episodes where I wanted more to happen because I wanted to like the characters that it focused on more. But I love the Dwight stuff. I love Dwight in the books. I love the way they bring him around. I think him and Daryl having a direct rivalry with each other adds a new element. Yeah, he's Dark Daryl. But yeah, the season was really good. I feel like since Scott Gimple took over as showrunner, it's been moving at a pretty quick pace. Everything's been pretty exciting. They're handling the characters well now, so I was happy with it.
Yep, I liked it too.
That's going to do it for the Walking Dead Season 7 review. Thanks for watching. Check us out on McSoss.com, on Twitter and on Instagram. Search McSoss and you'll find us.
That's true. See you next time.